Hey guys, my name is Daniel Hernandez and I'm from Porterville. Here in Porterville, we have two school districts that make up our community. Those two school districts are Porterville Unified School District and the Burton School District. For the purposes of this assignment, I chose to do the Burton School District because I personally went to school there. When I went to school, they only served K through 8, but now they have K through 12. They have 9 schools recently adding their high school. And they also have a dual immersion school. Their board is composed of 5 members. President Abdulia Guzman Alvarado, the VP, which is Dan Figueroa, the clerk Jay Rice, and 2 other members, Eddie Hernandez and Vicky Cervantes. They meet twice a month, mainly on Mondays, but in case of a holiday and there's no school, they do Tuesdays. The business they address within the school district can be referred to from back in the book, which states the school board oversees local school district and attempts to meet the desires of the community. They address personnel, finance, curriculum, and infrastructure, which was done when I went to the meeting. The day I attended was October 7th on a Monday. And what I thought was interesting that the way they were seated, the public was seated at the entrance and the board was seated at the other side. And they were both facing each other with the podium dead in the middle, which I wasn't sure what the podium was for. So I asked someone, and to my surprise, it was used for the public to be able to speak, which I thought was pretty cool. The sessions begin at 5:25, but they really don't start until 5:45 because in that 20-minute period, they have 10 minutes for the public to speak on closed session items, which I thought was really cool because I knew that the board did their own items like about personnel and stuff on the side without the public being able to say something, but they were allowed to speak on closed items, which I thought was really cool for 10 minutes and maybe an attempt to sway, I guess you could say, the board. So after those 10 minutes, the board goes into the closed room and they speak on those items. And from there, the meeting begins at 5:45. They were very formal and organized. For the most part, I thought it was really cool how all of the board members were really dressed nice, how you would expect for them to be dressed, I guess you could say. Something that really did surprise me was the Pledge of Allegiance. I didn't know that was done within these board meetings. To my surprise, when everyone was standing up to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I haven't done the Pledge of Allegiance since I was back in school. So for them to do that, I thought it was pretty cool. During the agenda, they addressed many different things like the personnel, the curriculum, the infrastructures, the personnel. What I thought was cool is that they had a student speaker talk about their FFA leadership conference, which is the Future Farmers of America, which was something that I was in. So they had updates on the schools, not only the curriculum and all those things that the board is worried about. They had updates to update the community on things that students were doing, like the sports teams and how the band performances were doing. They didn't have any discussions on when they were doing motions with the board members, so no one was allowed to go talk on the podium, which I thought was pretty cool because the public was only allowed to listen to see what was voted on yes and what nay, They had two presentations and hearings. One of the presentations was about the GATE program, and that's what I always thought it was an honors program, because when I went to school, when they said GATE, I assumed it was the honors program, but it was more for autistic, more special education kids. And this presentation, we heard about how they're trying to build it from kinder all the way to second grade and build like a portfolio kind of thing. and tried to display how kids are learning from kinder through second, which I thought was really cool. And they're hoping to have the program fully functioning within 3 years, which I think is very quick. Um, Also, there was a presentation a presentation from one of the schools, William R. Buckley, which is the school my mom works at, and they received a $12,000 reward for their preschool funding, which I didn't even know they had a preschool. They got it from the QRIS 5-star program, which I guess is very prestigious, and they explained the requirements that are required to get the award and how they worked tediously for 9 months to attempt to get the award. Another school that also got it was the Oak Grove school, which is very rare for a school district to have not only one, but for two, which was really crazy. They also gave the updates on curriculum and the board policies, which I wasn't really familiar with, but I'm sure once I become a teacher, I'll be more aware of it, more known of what these things are. And then, as I mentioned, they recently added a new high school, and they gave an update on how they're going to be making their final payment on their technology lab, which will finalize the school, and they'll have everything that they had planned for, which I thought was pretty cool. And after that, they had open mic to discuss any other issues, but they didn't have anybody go up that day. And the meeting was adjourned at 7:17, which roughly was about an hour and a half. And I asked one of the people in the public, how long their meetings usually last, and they said roughly an hour and 30 minutes, which was about the time that it took for that meeting that I attended. After the meeting, what I thought was really interesting is that I thought people would leave super fast, but people stayed and they started talking about their schools, about what they think could be better for their students. And I thought that was really cool because for me, I think the Burton School District is really interested in their students. Something that I do want to do is maybe attend the Porterville Unified School District board meetings to see the difference between the two, because Porterville is a lot bigger than the Burton one. I want to say Porterville serves about 17 schools, so they're a lot bigger. So I wonder how theirs are run. If they're more tight knit than the Burton one was, although they have 9 schools. But yeah, that was my experience with the board meetings.